Hey guys, Nick coming to you with another video. This one is the continuation of last week water focus. We are going to talk about Attila. And the way we're going to build this video is we spoke about Arad and Ramses in the previous video. This one we're going to look at Attila, an option that you can use to replace one of these three models. The reason is I don't think you need to be fully water, even though you want to focus on water. So let's look at Attila first. We're going to do pros and cons, specialization, and skills, and how I think you should use it. So first pro, cavalry, a very good immortal in the cavalry, so you can focus on cavalry research. Attila is cavalry. Con, water, and attack. I don't think Attila should be an attack immortal. You don't want to use this for damage, so him being an attack immortal makes it a con. You get more attack stats than defense. You would rather have the defense when it comes to Attila. Let's look at his skill in the artifact before we look at how we unlock him. I think this skill is a con. Since the nerf a long time ago, Attila has been put down to the ground. He is now doing a little bit of everything at a very poorly low level. If you look at his damage, 230, it's a fan-shaped zone, so you're going to hit most likely 2 or 3 immortals, so it's more than 230, but it's still rather low when it comes to damage. It's also only from the skills casting. It's not the best one. It's not the best one. Then you have the 35% chance of reducing physical defense and doing a silence on the enemy. 15% is not high. Arad was at 35. And this 35 was with the artifact, magical and physical. It's the same thing with the artifact with Attila. It's going to be adding the magical. That's what the artifact does. Same principle as a Arad artifact. But here, when you look at the defense was a sure thing. The defense was hitting. There was no chance, and it was way higher. Here, there's a chance of reducing. There's a chance of silencing. The max rate of the silence, the crit rate for the silence is 35%. 35% is really, really low when it comes to a trigger skill. So if you're not able to silence anybody, Attila becomes pretty much useless. The defense of 15%, although it's decent because it becomes magical as well with the artifact, is low. It's twice as low as Arad, even more. So when it comes to the skills, it is a con for sure. I think he's doing a little bit of too much at a very poor level. Now, the artifact is really easy to get. That is definitely a pro, but the artifact value, even though it makes it that it affects the magical damage, which is also what you need for a water team because you're focusing on more than for damage, it's only 15%. So it is a pro and a con when it comes to the artifact. Easy to max, not the best skill or effect that it gives. If it was affecting the crit rate for the silence, example, plus 25, plus 15, to make it closer to 50, 60%, then Attila would be way better in my opinion. And then we move to another con when it comes to maxing him. Attila, once unlocked, is going to be available in the market. Same rate as Alex, as you can see here, 383, 278, 278. So he is as hard and as easy and costs the same as Alex. Now, the other thing you need to remember is that Alex and Attila, same value when it comes to gem cost, but not same value when it comes to effectiveness. So if you do Attila instead of Alex, you're basically doing an investment that's going to be the same in an immortal that is not the same value. This is why I think it's a con. It's only by gem that you can max him, same as Alex. you should go for Alex instead of Attila here. But if you want to focus on water, you do Attila, it becomes a con because I don't think the value is there. Now, when it comes to water team, I think what you want to do is for sure you're going to need to go to Ragnar. All your King of the Hill box, um, all the available option you have to select something. Example, here, the golden path, if you have enough currency, you want to buy someone, it has to be your Ragnar. You want to focus on Ragnar here. You can do the water as well, the random one, but you want to make sure your Ragnar will become the store frontline of your water march. Then, if you choose between Arad, Ramses, and Attila, in my previous videos, I told you Attila was the winner. I think so as well, but that is only the case if you don't plan on changing him at all. If you want to stick to 5 water element, the dragon, and 4 water, and you're not budging from that, I would go for Attila. You can invest some gem into him. He's going to be, in my opinion, a little bit better than Arad. But if you are planning at any point to maybe change it, I would go for Arad instead. Arad is a very decent immortal compared to Attila. They're about even. I personally even prefer Arad because of the damage reduction, the defense reduction of 35%. I think it's a really good debuff. But these two immortal are not used for damage. So this is the same from Ramses and Arad. You want to do whirling shot for specialization, and when you want to use skills that are like energy shield, grace, like energy suppression, aura, you don't want to put damage skill on him. He is not meant to do damage. This is where we're going to go to the second part of the video quickly. I think there's 3 options to replace Attila, Arad, and Ramses, and to pair with Ragnar in the front row. First, I talk about him all the time. There's Alex. The reason is if you're going to max an immortal with gem in the market, you don't go to El Cid, you don't go to Attila, you don't go to Saladin, you go to Alex. Alex is your best option because he can be used for damage, he can be used for utility, he's going to give you a way better value for your gem. If you want to talk about absolutely free to play immortal, so not even gem, there's 2 options. I'm not going to talk about YSS because YSS is a king of the hill immortal and you need those boxes for your Ragnar. If you can do 2, which is not easy, YSS would be an option. But again, not going to talk about that option. I think there's 2 options when it comes to free to play. First, you have Julius. Julius is defense. He's holy. He's not going to be countered by any element. His skill is rather good when it comes to an immortal. This is really good. It becomes quite similar to the debuff Ramses was doing, but at a better level. And on top of that, with the artifact, it becomes 100% as well. And he's a defense immortal, so his main stat is higher on the defense, and it's going to allow you to bring defensive skills as well. The 2 downside of doing this option to replace your frontline water immortal is he is spearman. You need to be careful in your academy. You're going to need to put some time in your researches for spearman if you're going to use Julius in your main troop. The other one is the artifact. With all the new events, it is not that hard to max one holy artifact. If you do so, then Julius become an option for you because you do need his artifact. Without the artifact, Julius is not an immortal. The difference between 60% and 100% is night and day. You do not want to use Julius if you do not have his artifact. And you need his artifact quite high as well if he's going to be in your main team. In that case, you have another option. I think Richard could be a decent replacement for your Attila era Ramses. Richard is really easy to obtain, really easy to max, really easy when it comes to the artifact as well. He is a shieldman, so this is good. Now you're gonna have to focus your training ground on shieldman because Ragnar is also going to be a shieldman, so it might be heavy when you fight a lot. But Richard is a really good option. He is defense. His skill has nothing to do with lightning. It has nothing to do with water neither. It doesn't matter. You want to use him because he offers some utility in the stun rate 30% for a second. You get some value, sometimes you don't get as much value. But what is important is that he is going to be defense and he is going to be bring defensive skill to buff up or debuff the enemy team. This is a good option, in my opinion, to change your front row Ramsey Alex, Ramsey Attila, and Arad. Arad is close to Richard, in my opinion. The only reason I prefer Richard is the fact that he is a defensive mortal. Before I let you go, I'll introduce you to a last option. EPO could be an option. I don't like that option. At that point, I would have an Arad used as utility and focus on the debuff to make my Merlin do more damage. This is it for the front row water formation. Next video, we're going to talk about water back row backline formation. There are a few options. I think there's one definitive damage dealer in Merlin, and then the other options for whoever is going to be beside him. We're going to go through that in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.